Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about multicam shoots, how I use them, and what product I'm using that's budget friendly and saves me a ton of time in editing, especially for a scenario like this. Let's get into it. Hey guys, so whether you're streaming or you're looking into doing a multicam shoot, I think I found something that's really going to be helpful. One of the biggest issues for me is that editing takes a ton of time, especially when I'm using multi-cameras. That means different setups, but if I can do that all in the beginning and also have the capability of streaming on top of it, and the best part, it'll record to an SD or an external drive. So typically in a talking head type scenario, I have a camera that's facing me. Maybe I have a B camera as well. So if you're using some sort of multicam setup where you want to focus on a product or a thing that you're doing, you can easily switch and not have to do that in edit, which I really like to do. So I kind of know the formula I use when I shoot these videos or these style of videos. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I want to, let's say now focus on something a little bit more serious, maybe I'm gonna punch in. That punch in is coming from a different camera. So the setup right now is this. That is the Ursa shooting me right now. This is the Pixis. We go back to the Ursa, Pixis, Ursa, Pixis. I think you kind of get it. So now if I wanted to show you what I'm using or if I want to highlight a product, so I can cut away to the actual product. I'm using the iPhone here just as an example, and that hooks up there, and I can show you how I can pop this out and have a free floating camera with the transmitter. So for example, I'll show you what I'm going to do now. I'll hook up my FX3, which does not have SDI. This is an SDI unit, but I'll explain to you how I have that working. And now, instead of the phone and the actual unit, I can have a free-flowing camera. If I have a person either, filming on this camera, what have you, with a transmitter, I can now go like this. And right now, it's just literally what you see here is what's happening. So then I can go in, focus on that product, set that shot up the way that I want to, show you all the cabling and the monitoring. If I wanted to do something a little bit more close up where I'm talking about details and I want to do things like that, I can cut away here when I'm really just kind of, again, trying to focus on the scenario, and then always go back to my wide shot. So this is all happening real time. And if I want to set this up, let's say perfect scenario, what I'll do is I'll set up an area there just to show you like a product or a box. I'm not even going to go too crazy, but give me a second here and I'll show you what I mean. So is the CineTreak Stream really the right one for you? This one's actually been great because most of my cameras are SDI and my transmitters are as well, but I can use my transmitters to use the HDMI output for that. So although this is meant for streaming and also multi-cam shoots, this does not provide the ISO files, but what it does is compile the files for you together so you can showcase something like this. Now, I'm using specifically the SDI version of this. I use my transmitters to bring that out from HDMI for my FX3, for example, or if I wanted to use it with my iPhone like I showed before, that's not an issue. And again, this is about time saving. This is about being able to, cut in, do a wider shot, cut back in when I'm saying something a little bit stronger, and again, go back to the wide and then show the product. For me, this is great for fast, ready edits that I'm going to put together and using one microphone throughout, which I'm using the Shure right now to record this. And that's going in and it's not a problem. Again, I really like this kind of workflow. I'm really enjoying it. And if you are doing more streaming, this might be a great product for you. Now, I'm going to get into the specs and we'll talk through that and we'll see what that's all about. So the key features are all-in-one live streaming switcher, controls up to 4 PTZ cameras. So if you have one of those, that's going to be a huge plus. You can record in H.264 with instant playback. You've got dual RTMP streaming. You've got Luma and chroma keying. You've got 4 SDI inputs, wireless IP control, downstreaming support, landscape and portrait mode. Picture in, picture out, video support as well. You know, this is if you're really getting into streaming and you're beginning to use your cameras for these kind of scenarios, whether you're doing these type of videos or you're shooting for maybe something that you're going to need a lot of cameras to be controlled and do quick edits and turnarounds, this might be for you. So CineTreak sent us the Stream 1S. Now there is a 1 and then there's the 1S. The 1 is for HDMI only. There's the 1S, which I'm using because I mainly use SDI, to be honest, and I have transmitters that can go from HDMI to SDI, so I wasn't really worried about it. This is for a multicam shoot situation. What I love about this is you can edit right as you go. So you can cut in, you can cut out, you can cut back in, you can cut back out. So if you have 1 to 4 cameras, you can actually use this, or you can showcase showing what you're doing on screen, so forth and so on. You create what you want to edit. Going back to this, so again, we're using a camera, which is the Ursa there. We are using the Pixis here, and then the FX3 is focused on the product itself. Now, I'll show you really quickly what happens when I pull that camera off, and it's going to be, basically, it's like freestyle. It's cableless, it's with a transmitter. It's going through HDMI to SDI. So now you can actually see what I'm doing. If I go to camera 2, we're going to be here. If I go to camera 1, we're going to be here. If I go back to camera 3, I am here. And again, you can fade through transitions as you go through. You can use it for different transition types like this. Not really my cup of tea, but I get it if you wanted to use something like that. Again, I always keep it on the wide for the main and then cut in when I need to do it. And the way this is set up right now with the FX3 is I have it on a transmitter coming from HDMI to SDI. So this is SDI going into this, and then the transmitter itself, I can show you what that looks like, which is easy for me because all I have to do is pop it here and show you. So the transmitter is going through HDMI here to the FX3. And that's how we have that set up here. And then basically I'm recording right through here. I hit record, it goes to an SD here. And this does a lot of different things to be, to be fair, it does chroma, it does your alpha, it does all those kind of great transitions. You can add your logos. So especially if you're streaming, you can set this up to be an incredible, incredible tool. Again, I'm going to start getting into streaming, so this is really making me excited, but the whole idea that I can just edit a full video through here and just, do it one shot, not have to go through too many edits. Yes, I may have to cut a piece here, cut a piece there, but not actually edit 3 different files plus my audio file. Everything is integrated here, which I really like. So again, having the ability to have everything integrated here is fantastic. I like that I'm using one audio source, only using one card. And again, I think that is worthwhile in itself. So just to be fair, I wanted you to see what this looks like, how I have the hookups. It's an SDI based system. I have it outputting to this monitor here, and so I have it outputting here to this monitor. As you can see, it has all the things that I need in there to view and see what I'm doing. I'm shooting that on the Pixis, and way back there is the Ursa. And again, cutting back here, it's simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll call out your cameras. And then there's that record button. That at its simplest form is really the easiest way to use this. And then the audio itself is going right to my mix pre, but you can use any audio input you want and just share that for all the cameras. So one audio input, and then you can do that. You can also output and listen and make sure your levels are right. All right, guys, so if you're interested in this product and you have any questions, please let me know. I can give you any details. Again, just got this, played around with this, really happy with it. I've had it on for a couple of days, no issues, works completely well, and I've tried a couple of different tests. Again, you can use it with any sort of connected device. You could get the HDMI version, but if you have more SDI and want to get this and you're using transmitters, you can always do HDMI to SDI through the transmitter. And it is great. The latency is barely none, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. Now, again, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you on the next one.